Today we do numericals. Question says, you will see the question later on. I'll just read the question and just how you can find the speed of light in glass. And in the bracket given, refractiveness of glass with respect to air equal to 1.5 given. So what is the formula of refractiveness? Refractiveness formula will let speed was C upon V. This is glass given, that means with respect to air, that is speed of light in this medium, that is air, and this means speed of light in this medium, glass. Refractiveness is given 1.5. C is 3 into 10 to the power of 8. The value of V we have to find. 1.5, 2 times I cancel directly. So the value of V will become 2 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second, same unit. The value of C, speed of light in the air, will be given in the question, or even if not given, we will take this value only. So refractiveness formula, we have speed of light in vacuum or air in this medium. Actually, what is given air, so that air upon the speed of light in this medium. Put the value and find answer. Now, next question. This was number 1. Number 2, you will find the refractiveness of water with respect to air is 4 by 3. Find the speed of light in water the same way. So that the formula, refractiveness formula, get C upon V. Water with respect to air. Refractiveness of water with respect to air, the value is given 4 by 3. C value will take 3 into 10 to the power of 8. You have to find the value of V. The value of V will become 3 3 is 9 into 10 to the power of 8 divided by 4. 9 by 4 will divide 2.25 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Now, another question which I have done here is the speed of light in air is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. That is question number 3. That notes you will get. Number 3 says the speed of light in air is given 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second, and in a liquid, speed of light in a liquid is 1.25 into 10 to the power of 8. Find the refractiveness of liquid. We have to find refractiveness of liquid with respect to air. Formula is C by V. This thing we have to find with respect to air. C value is given 3 into 10 to the power of 8. The speed of light in the liquid is given 1.25 into 10 to the power of 8. These two cancel. You get 3 by 1.25. Remove the decimal, put 2 0. 25 5 times 25 12. 12 by 5 divide. Answer is 2.4. Refractiveness has no unit. The answer is 2.4. Okay, now this is number 3 and question number 4. The wavelength of light in air is 6000 angstrom. The wavelength of light in air is 6000 angstrom. What will be the wavelength of light in glass? We know wavelength will also change. Only frequency does not change, speed also changes. Refractiveness of glass with respect to air given. So light formula, refractiveness of glass with respect to air, formula will become lambda by lambda. Lambda not by lambda, this is glass, like lambda is a glass. Refractiveness is 1.5. Wavelength in the air is given, in the question is given 6000. Lambda in the glass we have to find, wavelength in the glass. Therefore, wavelength in the glass will come 6000 divided by 1.5. Cancel it, you get the answer 4000. 4000 unit will be same. This is given angstrom, this is also come in angstrom. You can do it in simple way also. You know, in the glass is the denser medium. So in the denser medium, the wavelength decreases. So the new wavelength will be decreased, means you have to divide. New wavelength will be 6000 divided by 1.5. It will decrease by 1 upon refractive index times, 1 upon 1.5 times. That means you have to divide by 1.5. Then only you will get the answer coming less. The answer is coming 4000 extra. After this, I need another question. Question says frequency of light. Frequency of light in air is 5 into 10 to the power of 14 Hertz. Find its frequency in glass of refractive index 1.5. Frequency of light in the air is given 5 into 10 to the power of 14 Hertz. You have to find the frequency in glass of refractive index 1.5. What is the answer? Anybody? what you have to do? Tell me first. Question says frequency of light. Frequency of light in air. The value is given 5 into 10 to the power of 14 hertz. Now question says find the frequency of light in glass of refractive index 1.5. Tell me what will happen. In glass the frequency will increase, decrease, what will happen? It will remain the same. That is the trick out there. This question is slightly tricky. Then what is the frequency of light in glass? Frequency of light in glass will have the same value will not change. 5 into 10 to the power 14 hertz only remain. And we can make a note under bracket since frequency does not change. When light travels from one medium to the another medium, when a wave travels from one medium to the another medium, that is the answer for this question. Don't do anything on here with the refractive index. People think of the refractive index is given, so we must use it. Then they will start dividing and by 1.5 or multiplying by 1.5. That is wrong. Now question number next. This was number 5. Now question number 6 we are doing. Tomorrow you will get the questions, proper questions. I will send the notes later. Okay. Question says the speed, wavelength, and frequency of light in a medium of refractive index being are C, lambda, and F respectively. The speed of light in a medium is given C, wavelength is given lambda, and frequency is given F. The refractive index of the medium is given Ri of medium. Ri of medium is given mu. You have to find the speed, wavelength, and frequency in air. Speed in air. Let us find the speed in air. What is the answer? Speed in air. Speed of light in air. What is the answer? Speed in the medium is C. What will the speed in the medium? Will increase, decrease, or remain the same? What will happen? Say fast. Say no. Say. No answer. No. C will remain. You give the answer in terms of C only. The value of the speed of light in air is given, speed of light in a medium is given C, in wavelength is given lambda, in that medium, and the refractive frequency is given F, and the refractiveness of the medium is given mu. What is the speed of light in the air? Question says, you have to give all your answer in terms of all these quantities. Speed in the medium is C, so speed in the air will be more or less, tell me, or will remain the same. It will be more, so more answer how will come, by multiplying or by dividing? Multiply, then this will become mu into C, mu times of C. Wavelength in air. What is the value of wavelength in the air coming? More or less. Wavelength also will increase no, in the air. Air is a rare medium, so wavelength also will increase. Wavelength is increasing, speed is increasing, wavelength also will increase. It will become mu times of lambda. It will increase by mu times. And what about frequency? Frequency in air will be how much? Will remain same F. That does not change, you know that. No change in frequency. Now next question. Light travels a distance of 15 meters in air. How much will it travel through glass of refractiveness 1.5 at the same time? During the same interval of time, how much it will travel? In the air, the distance traveled by light is 15 meters. How much distance it will travel in glass of refractiveness 1.5 during the same interval of time? How much distance will travel? More or less, huh? Same answer. Huh? Why same? has what to do with the distance. In the glass, the speed is changing, no, speed is decreasing, so distance traveled also will decrease. Speed also will decrease, no, then speed will decrease. What is the new distance traveled now? Distance in glass will become less. How much less? Divided by new time. 15 meter divided by 1.5. Answer is 10 meter. If you travel shorter distance, less distance. So the answer is 10 meter. In rarer medium, it will travel faster, that means it will travel a longer distance. And in a denser medium, it will travel with a less speed, that means it will cover a shorter distance. So this type of problem you can expect in ICC. Now we are doing the next topic, real depth and the apparent depth. Real depth and apparent depth. Okay, try to get the concept of this. Suppose we are having a medium, one side denser, one side rarer. This is denser medium, this is rarer medium. Rarer medium example can be air. This denser medium can be glass, can be water, can be anything. Denser medium. Rays traveling from, let us take the case with the rays going from denser to the rarer medium. From this point the rays traveling. Here is the normal. Where does it bend? You know, this side is the angle of incidence. Where will the ray bend? Away from the normal. So it is bending away from the normal like this. To the observer, the ray seems to travel in a straight line. So this is the ray, it will be traveling in a straight line here, somewhere here. That means when the person sees vertically above it, means close to the vertical line, then this is the actual position of ray, but the image is coming here, A dash. The object's position, actual position will appear to be raised. So this O to A, this is the actual depth or the real depth, whereas OA dash is from here till here, the distance is called apparent depth. The depth which is not the actual one, which it appears to the person as seen close to the normal line due to refraction. So OA is the actual depth and OA dash is the apparent depth. Then we have a formula, mu is equal to refractiveness of these two medium, that is refractiveness of water with respect to air. The formula becomes like this: real depth upon apparent depth. We write down this formula, apparent depth. This is the formula. How are real depth and apparent depth related? We say they are related to each other by this equation. Mu is equal to real depth by the apparent depth. This relationship we write. Okay, and this is the diagram we draw. So let us go back to the practical situation. When an object is the denser medium and is viewed vertically above it, the position of the object will appear to be raised. That means the object will appear closer. That means if suppose this is the actual height, then the height which will appear to the observer will be like this, shorter. That means object in the denser medium, when viewed from the rarer medium, the object will appear to be shorter. Exactly this happens when a person's leg is underwater and you see from the air, the person's leg will appear shorter. The bottom of a tank filled with water appears shorter. What is the reason? Refraction is the reason, and due to apparent depth, the position of the object appears to be raised due to refraction effect. So the image is forming above it. So the object is appearing. And with closer, that means the length of the object is apparently decreasing. So it's appearing shorter. Let us take the reverse of this question. Reverse of this question will be like this. Now the observer is here. Observer is in the denser medium. Here is the observer in the denser medium. And the actual object is lying here. Here is the object, the point A. This is the actual height of the object, actual height. From here, the ray is traveling from rarer to the denser, where it will bend towards the normal, is bending towards the normal, and is coming here to the observer. To this observer, the ray seems to come in a straight line, like this, straight line here. Here is the image formed. This is the actual position A, but the position is appearing to be raised. In every case, the position appears to be raised. So this is the actual position OA, or you can call it actual height, but this is the apparent height. This time the raising the position will make the object to look taller, not shorter. Because a person is here, this is the actual height of the object, but due to refraction effect, the object's height is appearing to be raised, that means the object will appear taller. It is just the reverse of this case, first case. First case, what happened when the object was in the denser medium and it was observer was in the rarer medium, then the object's position is appearing raised, that means the objects were looking shorter. But here in this case, the object will appear taller than its actual size, taller, slightly longer, or taller in the height. This is also happening due to refraction. And the common example is this one, sun. Sun, this is suppose sun. We receive the sun, though the sun will be already setting, it will be below the horizon over here, but due to refraction effect, the image of sun will be formed somewhere here. We are the observer on the ground, that is we are in the denser medium, and the sun rays is traveling from denser to the rarer medium. Rarer to the denser medium. So it's bending towards the normal. So for us, the sun image is forming here above it. Here is the image of the sun forming. Here is the image of sun. That is for us, for the observer on the surface of the earth, the sun is still there. So people see the sunlight for quite some time, even before sunrise and soon after the sunset. We still receive that, and that light is called twilight. T-W-I-L-I-G-T, twilight. The formation of twilight is also due to refraction of light. Hope you understand this point. Yes or no? But two things you have to read the questions very carefully. When an object in the denser medium viewed from a rarer medium, when seen or when viewed vertically above, then this will happen. When it is vertically above. But when the object is seen normally above, what is the meaning of normally above? Is straight away out here, along the normal line you are seeing, along the normal line, not your eyes here, somewhere close to the normal, but it is along the normal, exactly normal, means exactly above it you are seeing. That time there will be no change in the position. The actual position and the apparent position will be the same. This effect will not take place. Because that time refraction does not take place. When the ray passes the surface normally, that means angle of incidence is 0 degree. So no refraction, so no apparent depth will be there. There will be only real depth. Understood? It depends upon the question. Question says vertically above or normally above. So accordingly, now there are some reasons that question may come, and it is a matter of common observation also. On a newspaper, when we place a thick glass block, all the prints or printed text, whatever is written on the prints appear to be raised. They are all seen bit closer than its actual size. What is the reason behind? Same refraction. There is real depth, there will be apparent depth, and it will appear bit closer. Okay. Now, suppose one question is there, just think and answer. Suppose we are having a piece of paper, here we are having 7 spots, ink spots, made of different colors. Vibrio color. This is violet spot, this is indigo spot, blue spot, green spot, yellow, orange and red spots. On a white piece of paper, first we are writing, and then we are placing a glass block above it. Glass block, this is glass block placed above it, glass block. And when we see these spots from above, not exactly normally, but somewhere from above, when we see, how will they appear? They all will appear to be raised or will not appear to be raised. Tell me first. They all will appear to be raised. But now the question is, will they all appear to be raised in the same level or different level? Rainbow. Level I'm talking about. Rainbow means what? Rainbow you see there in the sky. So, is there something to do with the sky, atmosphere? Then, which color will be appearing raised maximum? They all. Do you think all the colors will be the same level or different level? Okay. Why they will be on different level? Because they all have a different value of refractive index. Their apparent depth depends upon the value of their refractive index. You know the formula. Mu is equal to, what is the formula? Real depth by the apparent depth. This is the formula. If the mu and apparent, they are inversely proportional. More the value of mu will be less. Violet has got maximum value. Then apparent depth will be minimum. When the apparent depth is minimum, that means the shift raising the position will be maximum. Like this, violet will be seen somewhere here around. This depth is minimum, and the red will have the refractive index minimum, so apparent depth maximum. So apparent depth is maximum. Maximum is, it will be appearing raised by the very less amount. This will be red. The depth is like apparent depth is maximum, so the raise in the position or the shift in the position will be minimum. And then other all color will come in the same area. This will be this will be this will be coming here, this will come here, this will come here like this. B, I, B, G, Y, O. In the form of ladder they will come like this. The all colors will appear to be at different level, and which color will appear to be the raised maximum? The answer is violet. And the red will appear to be raised minimum. Because the depth is maximum, apparent depth for the red color is maximum. This is the depth. Maximum depth, that means the shift or the raise in the position is minimum. Here the depth is minimum, that means the raise in the position is maximum. So that is the answer for this question. Okay? Alright. Now we will do some problems on the formula real depth and apparent depth. Okay, I read some questions. Question says, as seen from above, the apparent depth of a liquid in a vessel is 15 centimeter. Apparent depth is 15. Whereas its real depth is 20 centimeter. Real depth is 20 centimeter. Find the refractive index of the liquid. I think you know the formula. Mu is equal to real depth by apparent depth. I write in short. Real depth is given 20, apparent is 15. 5 3s are 5 4s are divided and given in decimal 1.33. The refractive index is about no units, so don't give any unit. This was question number 1 on the real depth and apparent depth. Now second one. A water pond appears to be 2.7 meter deep. The apparent depth is given 2.7 meter. If the refractive index of water is 4/3, find the actual depth of the pond and the normal shift. So again, use the same formula. Mu is equal to real depth by the apparent depth. Refractive index is given 4/3. Real depth, actual depth we have to find. Apparent depth is given 2.7 meter. It's appearing to be 2.7 meter deep. Cancel and find the answer of real depth. Real depth answer will come 3.6 meters. Now shift also you have to find. Shift in position. Shift means raise in position. Shift in position. Real depth minus apparent depth. Real depth minus the apparent depth will give the value of shift. That means 3.6 minus 2.7. 0.9 meters. Good. Very good. Number 3. Next question says, a coin is placed at the bottom of a beaker containing water of refractive index 4/3 to a depth of 12 centimeter. By what height the coin appears to be raised when seen vertically above? There is a coin inside a beaker which contains water. The actual depth of the coin is given 12 centimeter. By what height it will appear to be raised? That means you have to find the value of shift. And the value of shift we will find by using real depth minus the apparent depth. First we must find the apparent depth, and then we will minus and get answer. Same formula. Mu is equal to real depth by the apparent depth. Refractive index is 4 by 3 bottom. Real depth is given 12. Apparent depth we will find first. 4 ones are 4 3s are. So apparent depth is coming 9 centimeter. Therefore shift we have to find. Raise in the position. Shift will be equal to 12 minus 9, 3 centimeter. Yes. Okay, next question. Question number 4. Question says a postage stamp kept below a rectangular glass slab of refractiveness 1.5 when viewed from vertically above appears to be raised by 7 millimeter. Appears to be raised by, that is shift in the position is given. It's appearing to be raised by, not raised to. Raised by 7 mm. Find the thickness of the glass slab. Then the same formula, mu is equal to real depth by the apparent depth. We will do mu is given 1.5. This is glass. Real depth, I take as a, this is only the thickness. Thickness of the, this is the postage stamp, and here we are keeping, this is the actual depth is same as the x, thickness of the glass block. And the shift in the position is given 7. Here we are at x minus 7. Apparent depth will be x minus 7. Shift, this much is the shift. The shift is given 7 mm. Here is appearing here. Then what is the apparent depth? X minus 7. X minus 7 millimeter is given. Millimeter. Now we find this. Point will go 5 3s are 5 2s are. Cross multiply. 2x. 3x minus 2x is equal to 21. So x value is coming 21 mm. That's it. So you have to read the questions very carefully. Raised by is mentioned, raised by. That means the shift in the position is given. So we will do accordingly. Is it okay? Any doubts so far? Okay. Ask. Actual position is raised by, this is from this position is raised by 7 mm. This is the value of shift given, no? Then, so shift how the apparent depth, what is the value of apparent depth? Apparent depth will be from here to here, no? That will become x minus 7. Okay. If they say the body appears to be at this depth, that means apparent depth given. So we don't have to subtract, but raised in the position is given 7 millimeters. That's why it will be x minus 7 because we want apparent depth here. Apparent depth value will come actual depth minus the shift. This is the actual depth minus the shift. This is the value of apparent depth. Okay. Yes. Now this topic is also done. Now we are doing refraction through prism. Refraction through a prism. We'll take a prism and a monochromatic light, single color light, monochromatic. Mono means single color, single frequency, monochromatic light. We are not taking white light because when we take white light, it splits into 7 colors. Now the ray will be, here is a normal, we draw normal. This is the angle of incidence. This is obviously prism is made up of glass. So this is air, this is glass. The ray will bend towards the normal. So it will bend towards the normal here like this. Then it will bend away from the normal like this. This angle will mark as R1. This angle will mark as R2, angle of refractions. This angle will mark angle of E, angle of emergence. incident ray, refracted ray and emergent ray. This angle is called angle of the prism. Why this angle? Because these two sides are refracting, so this is the angle between them. A is the angle of the prism, angle of those sides which are refracting. If these two sides are refracting, then here you will mark angle A. If these two sides are refracting, then here is the angle A. The position of angle of A is variable, it keeps changing depending upon which two sides are refracting. Okay. In a prism, this always happens. R1 plus R2 will always be equal to A. In a prism, these two angles of refractions, R1 plus R2 will be equal to A. Giving example, if this is 30, this is 40, how much is this? 70. If this is 70 and this is 30, how much is this? You can subtract 40. If this is 90 and this is 70, how much is this? 20. So like that you can do. In a prism, this always happens. R1 plus R2 is equal to A. They will not ask you to prove, but I will prove it so that you remember during exam how it came. But they will not ask in ICC, okay? So how to prove it? I do tell this. Normal makes an angle of 90 degree, okay? This side also 90, this side whole angle is 90. But a part of it is R1. What is the remaining part? The remaining part will come 90 minus R1. And same way this will come 90 minus R2. Take three angles of triangle. 1, 2, 3 angles of triangle. 3 angles of triangle together equal to how much degree? 180. You will be using geometry here at 90 minus R1, 90 minus R2 plus A is equal to 180. Get that? So 90 plus 90 is 180. 180 will cancel. Minus R1 minus R2 will stay that side. You get A is coming as R1 plus R2. So this is the reason. Ultimately, they are having R1 plus R2 is equal to A. R1 plus R2 is equal to A. This is the reason why this happens. In a prism, R1 plus R2 will always be equal to A. They may be fill in the blank side question like this. R1 plus dash is equal to dash. They will say, what will you fill in the blank? You have to fill R2 here and you have to fill A. Okay? Understood why this happened like this? If somebody asks you why, they will show this one, but just for your sake, you know that you should know that R1 plus R2 makes A. Now another thing we show, okay, that is called angle of deviation. In a prism, this ray, incident ray and the emergent ray will never be parallel. These two rays will never be parallel to one another. You know why? Because these two rays are not contained by parallel sides. In a glass block, we are having glass block like this. You remember the incident ray? It was like this and it was like this. These two rays were parallel. The incident ray and the refracted ray were parallel. Why? Because these two rays are contained by two parallel sides. This side were parallel. This one parallel. So there was no angle between them. The incident ray and this ray, they were parallel. There was no angle. But here, these two rays, incident ray, they will never be parallel because these two sides are not parallel. Instead of the lateral displacement, they will have an angle-wise difference, angle-wise deviation. So, like this we do, like this we do. Here is the angle-wise deviation that we denote by this symbol delta. Delta is called angle of deviation by the prism. Angle of deviation by the prism. Angle of deviation. By this angle, this ray is deviating, is going this way. By this angle. It is the angle between the incident ray and the emergent ray. Angle between them is called angle of deviation, denoted by delta. We have a formula for delta also. The formula for delta comes like this. Delta formula is like this: I plus E minus A. This is the formula of delta that we should know. Or we can write like this: delta plus A is equal to I plus E. This way also we can write. They may be fill in the blank type question also. Delta plus dash is equal to I plus dash. Then you have to fill accordingly. But if you want to learn the logic why this happens, I will show you the logic why this happens like this. Though directly not in the syllabus, but I will just show you why this happens, so that you remember and we have a logic. Okay. This is I. This line, this whole angle will be vertically opposite angle. This angle will be vertically opposite. So a part is R1, the remaining part will become I minus R1. Same way, this whole angle is here, this whole angle will be also vertically opposite. This will become E minus R2. And this angle delta is the exterior angle of this triangle. Exterior angle of this small triangle. We know exterior angle property. What is the property of exterior angle? Exterior angle of a triangle is equal to sum of the two opposite interior angles. Yes. The two interior angles are I minus R1 and E minus R2. Here we write E minus I minus R1 plus E minus R2. I plus E minus common, you get R1 plus R2. Delta I plus E, and we know R1 plus R2 makes A. So this is the formula. The delta formula we have I plus E minus A. Angular deviation is equal to I plus E minus A. Okay? Understood? So today we do this much till here. Then tomorrow we will continue with this. All are there. I said in the notes. All are there in the notes. All the problems which I discussed, all are there in the notes.